Welcome to Cam Church. I'm Resist Impulse. You may have seen me before, maybe not. If you haven't, feel free to type any questions you have for me in chat. I have been a member for years now, and my day began hiking up Pinnacle Mountain with the Outdoor Advocates School Club, and coming down the mountain, I realized that I wanted to share some things that I noticed while attending law school through the lens of UNICULT and how the fundamentals have been super beneficial to my experience here in law school. So, with that said, today's Camp Church is UNICULT and law school. Very simple title. So let's start with gratitude. I did a sermon on gratitude before on Camp Church. It's a topic I like to talk about a lot. I think it's really awesome, but last time I talked about it, it was scientific studies that support gratitude, and I wanted to take a minute to grab a quote from that sermon because I was overlooking it, and it just, I forgot how amazing some of that research and what I found was. So Emmons has published on gratitude, and I couldn't get access to their studies because they were paywalled, but I found articles that Emmons had authored or co-authored. And so Emmons defines gratitude as, firstly, an affirmation of goodness, and secondly, the source of goodness is outside ourselves. So this is very aligned with our beliefs of something higher, all one, and more. To me, Emmons' definition sets up gratitude as sort of an exercise in finding the goodness, right? The more time you spend on the hunt for goodness and finding it, the more fun it is to search for goodness in places you haven't looked before. And the reason I'm starting with gratitude is because this was our first outing as an outdoor club. I've been friendly and trying to make friends in law school, and I've been struggling, feeling fish out of water feelings at times. I'm not the oldest. There's some classmates that are older than me, but older than most. And I'm not from Arkansas. I didn't come with friends or anything. I'm out here by myself, and that can be difficult at times, but at the same time, UNICULT really helped me to come to terms with myself being enough. And so I'm not stressing about it, but this was the first social thing where I got there, and one of the more senior members or upperclassmen said that once we get to the top of the mountain, we're just going to sit there and not think about law school. We're going to think good thoughts, and I think he might have said, like, say nice things about each other or something like that, right? And I was like, oh, do you want me to bring Happy Grams? Like, should I go grab some more Happy Grams? Because I already had Happy Grams in my bag. And he's like, what are Happy Grams? And so, for any of you that hasn't seen or heard about Happy Grams, these are some that were given to me, so we won't show those. I think I'm going to need to make more Happy Grams. So, here, yeah, we definitely are. I'm down to 2 Happy Grams, it looks like. So here are 2 examples of Happy Grams. It says Happy Gram at the top in a font, and it's got some little icon. That's all. Oh, you can't see the green one because of green screen, so that's funny. You make them yourself at FedEx, Kinko's, or wherever by printing out one sheet from your computer that is quarter size with the logo, and then you cut them up with scissors or whatever. And originally the like genuine ones or whatever were thinner. I prefer a little thicker, and were like wax bound on one side or whatever, and they had different designs besides just stars and different fonts and things. But I learned this practice over a decade ago, and it's a gratitude practice. That's what it is. That's not how it was taught, and the teaching is very simple. You take a happygram, you write someone's name up top, and then you say something nice, something positive, and then you give it to them with no expectations. It's not a note passing practice. It's a gratitude practice. And gratitude is practiced well when there is no expectations attached. And so at the top of Pinnacle Mountain, the reason I'm down to 2 of these is we all did happygrams, and it was amazing. And so I just wanted to share with you the practice of happygrams. If you ever feel like you're not good at expressing your emotions, gratitude and gratefulness is an emotion. And this is one way to, practice sharing your emotions in a positive way. And we can get into several other topics here, and this bleeds right into thoughts are things. So when pushed further on what is this happygram thing, I said, well, it's taking your thoughts out of the emotional realm, out of the realm of thought, and putting it into the physical realm. And so you're literally manifesting joy into the physical realm and spreading it. And I was asked recently by someone about the tattoo on my arm. And I said, well, in 2020 or so, I joined a cult. And that was a lot of follow-up questions. And I said, the simplest way to explain it is we believe in spreading joy. And so today I was able to teach a lot of people, a concrete, physical, graspable way how to spread joy. And that was amazing. So how do these things relate to law school? Well, I think that belief makes real, right? So I didn't know what was going to be happening with my life. I didn't know I was going to be able to go to law school, but in belief makes real, I did not fully underline some of these things. I got my book here. I like to quote from the Fundamentals when possible. So when you aren't feeling so sure about something, belief makes real can give you hope that it's possible. And it's something to be further pursued, to look into, to take action. And so that's how I got to law school. I didn't think it was possible for many different reasons for the majority of my life. And then I saw a glimmer of hope that maybe this is possible. But I still didn't believe it, right? And then an old man asked me, hold on, so you never thought this was possible before? And I was like, yeah, no, not at all. And he's like, but it is now. I was like, yeah, maybe. And he just responded, then do it. And that was some great old man wisdom. That was like 70, 85-year-old old man wisdom, right? Like, hold on, you didn't think it was possible, and now it is. Just do it. And I thought about that. And that's what belief makes real is. It's, oh, hey, that might be possible. I think that might be possible. Well, let me believe that, and let me chase that down and follow that up not just with thoughts, but with actions and curiosity and looking into things and taking more actions, right? And so while I've been here, I've only been here for about a month in law school. I'm very new. There's a lot of stress. There's some students, overall, we're taught that like we're a big family, to be nice to everyone, to support each other, because you're going to run into these people. And there were some examples of this at our like induction ceremony thing, that had gone to school together, and one's a practicing lawyer and the other is a high up judge now, right? And it's like literally that relationship in the future with your classmate might, have a lot of history. And so you want to manifest positive vibes and everything, but it also reminds me at times of like the Appalachian Trail, where it seems a lot of people come into this for very strong reasons, right? And so they feel like they don't need to have the weight of friends and teamwork and being nice and everything, right? Like it's some cutthroat thing because I gotta succeed no matter what the cost. I'm getting across that finish line. And I experienced that, unfortunately, a little bit on the Appalachian Trail, and that made me sad. And that took a long time to think about and process. And what's been interesting is that I've experienced a little bit of both since I've been to law school. And I don't think you need to be that way to be successful at law school. I don't think it needs to be a competition. Like, yes, only one person can be the top of class, but that doesn't mean that, you can't be in a study group helping other students or, being friendly or anything, right? Like that's not going to detract from your ability to excel in a school setting. Like I don't buy into it. Every morning I have taken a practice from UNICULT Discord server and brought it into this group chat that I have to check, because it's all the 1L students, and so if things change with like the syllabus or whatever, someone will type in there so we can all be on the same page. And every morning I type good morning, and I try to add on to that with some degree of positivity or thought-provoking question or something, and the response is basically non-existent for the most part, right? But that's fine, because we learn in UNICULT that the fundamentals of the self are really important, right? And so it's not about putting out joy to receive joy back. It's not about putting out joy with expectations. It's about putting out joy into the world, and it will have an impact. I had some students come up to me privately and say, thank you. I like that you're starting my day on a positive note. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I was sick with like strep throat or something, and I had to miss a day, and I was late to check the app and everything because I slept in late. And my classmates, who normally don't respond to my good mornings, right? They were concerned about me. They were like, hey, where is he? What's going on? And then someone else filled in for me and said good morning. And then another classmate was like, but is it good morning if Resist didn't say it first? So it was kind of funny. But so I think the fundamentals give you a really solid tool set to interact with the world, with social reality, with the physical reality, with yourself in a very positive and beneficial way, right? So we have forgiveness. Sorry, I'm being distracted by the fundamentals. Because I did not prepare quite as much as I'd like. But, so, I remember hearing through my history of, self-help books and speakers and tapes and things about the importance of loving yourself. And when it really clicked was in UNICULT, when we talk about forgiveness. Because to me, one of the key important parts of loving yourself is being able to forgive yourself. If you're able to not go down a spiral of cyclical thinking, of negativity, when you have some type of goal or objective that you fail, but instead you say, you know what, yesterday just wasn't it, and that's okay. We all fail, we all fuck up, we all make mistakes, we all, hurt people. Things happen, life happens, and we're not perfect. We're on a path to joy. We're on a progress ship into our higher selves, and that takes loving myself, which means forgiving myself, becoming a better individual today than I was yesterday, or maybe not today. Maybe today's gonna suck too, and I'm gonna fuck up, and I'm gonna make mistakes. So then maybe it's the day after, right? Maybe it's the third day after 2 not great days. Maybe it's the 45th day, right? The point is, at some point, you got to say, you know what? The past is the past, and I choose to take my life in a different approach, and go on a path towards my higher self. I choose to take another step down the path. I might have gone through the loop-de-loop, might have tripped, stumbled, fell, but I'm getting up. I'm being grateful. I'm taking action, and today's my day. Because I love myself, I can forgive myself. In law school, there is a lot of reading. So, let's see here. We got a property textbook. We got a little over 1/2 of our torts textbook. We have civil procedure. A little bit smaller, right? Oh, but no. You also have the statutes. And there's more. There's more books. So, balance is important. And to follow the path to your higher self, you have to juggle different realities. You have to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And sometimes you get into a situation and you're like, I don't fucking have an idea how I'm going to come out of this, right? And that's how I felt. It's like this is not necessarily how I learn. We're supposed to be writing these case briefs. It's a whole thing. Let me... Property. So... Yeah, that's a bad example. Contracts. This is a good one. So, a case brief begins with this. You take a rainbow of pens or highlighters. I got both. I'm preferring the pens, the gel pens, over the highlighters, but you need a whole rainbow. You Roy G. Biv it up. So, you're going to see a bunch of red underlining. And then you're going to see blue. And then you're going to see pink, green, depending on which case brief. Oh, here's one. Lots of red, blue. So you're supposed to do this for every case, for every class. Torts, we get like 8 or more cases a week. Contracts, probably like 6. And each color corresponds to a different thing you put in the brief. Red is facts. Orange is the procedural history. Yellow is the issue at hand. And I could go on. It's grilled in here now, right? But why do I bring this up? Because balance. So I realize this is just not healthy, right? So what did I do? I decided sometimes you gotta take your learning into your own hands. And oh, here's a couple. So I talked to some older So in law school, it's 3 years. Your first year is 1L, and then your second year is 2L, and your third year is 3L. So I talked to some 2Ls and 3Ls and asked them, what am I supposed to do? This shit is getting crazy. Like, one of the books, they love going on and on and on about the history of this and that and everything, and cultural contexts and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just needing to learn the rule, right? And so, guess what? One of those textbooks is equivalent to one of these short and happy guides. So I forgave myself. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be the best student. I just need to be a student that's good enough. That's it. I don't need to be the best. I need to be good enough. So let me have a more balanced approach where I can get my assignments done, I can get my learning done without all of the hassle of some of these classes. And it's been working out great. So whatever situation you're in, try to seek balance in different ways, because we can't do everything all the time. We can't be everywhere all at once. We can't be everything other people need us to be all the time. But we do need to be ourselves, and we do need to love ourselves. And so while I don't feel like I've made friends yet, right? I know that my efforts in spreading positivity and joy has reached widely, and it will continue to do so, because I didn't get into this to be some cutthroat student or anything, right? I came to learn the law, and I don't have to sacrifice my principles or ethical frameworks of, operating through a framework of love. I don't need to let go of UNICULT fundamentals to do that. You can work on yourself, and you can spread joy while doing anything. Anything is possible. And so I've talked for about a half hour.